Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This one I was not sure if I wanted to film today, but it is April, it is Autism Awareness Month, and so ultimately I decided I'm gonna film it. I want to spread a little bit of awareness about this topic. I think it is an important one. So if you couldn't tell from the title, this video is going to be about how to support autism parents and things not to say to them. I'm gonna start off with some things that you should not say to parents. And I would say that the reason that I almost didn't want to film this today was because I don't want to make anyone feel bad. I don't want to make anyone feel like they need to apologize to anyone. Whoever you are watching this is more so just to educate on ways that you can support these parents. All that being said, let's just get into the video. I asked my friend, her name's also Catherine, she has a son who is 5 years old who has autism. I asked her to give me any of her examples, and so she added a few to the list. These are coming from both of us. Let's get to the list. All right, so these are in no specific order. I'm just gonna start. One thing that you should never say to an autism parent is, my sister's neighbor's friend's child has autism too. I know exactly what you're going through. So the reason that you should not say this, which I feel like it's very obvious why you shouldn't say this, but the reason that you shouldn't say this is because you don't know exactly what they're going through. Just because a friend of a friend of a friend has a child with autism, that does not mean that you know exactly what they're going through. Honestly, you have no idea what they're going through. Just because somebody that you know has a child with autism, that does not mean that you know what they're going through at all. So please don't try to relate your experience if you don't know what they're going through, especially if it's like a friend of a friend of a friend. Just don't. Here's another one that you probably should steer away from. He just needs more discipline. You just let him run wild. So here's why you shouldn't say that. So kids with autism tend to be overly hyper, and they tend to just run around a lot, and they just tend to be hyper. And then on top of that, they get overstimulated and they run away, or they act in different ways than other kids do. And when you're out in public, you can't tell that kids have autism. You can't see it. Like if you just look at a kid, you can't see, oh, they have autism. Oh, okay, that's why they're acting like that. A lot of people just stare at you, and it's really hard because I can tell that people think that Lincoln is just throwing a huge tantrum and we just have no control over him. It's already hard enough to get those stares, and then to have people in your life telling you that you just need to discipline them more. You don't need that on top of it. So definitely do not tell somebody that you just need to discipline them more, because you have no idea what you're talking about. The next one that you should not say is, he looks so normal. Are you sure he's autistic? So I feel like, again, this one's self-explanatory, but please don't say to people, oh, are you sure he's autistic? Are you sure he looks normal? Like, don't question the doctors. If multiple doctors and multiple evaluations have come out to say that he is autistic, or the child, her, she, whatever, is autistic, why are you questioning that? Why would a parent say, oh, you know, I just want them to be autistic? Like, why would a parent want that for their child? So don't question it. Like, you're not around all the time. You don't see everything that the parent sees. A lot of times you just see the good parts, and you just see like the fun and happy parts, and you don't see the hard parts. And so don't do that to them. Don't make them feel like they're trying to put a diagnosis on them for fun. Who would do that? So yeah, don't tell them, oh, they look normal. They seem fine. Oh, but the other day they were acting so, oh, okay, you mean the 30 minutes that you saw them for? You saw them for 30 minutes. I'm with them every other minute of the day. Like, you only see a small portion. Okay, another one that you should not say is, oh, have you just tried blank? Fill in the blank. Chances are that, first of all, this parent is probably already researching everything that they can to help their child. Different therapies, different everything to help their child. And second of all, you can't cure autism. It's not a disease that you can just cure. This one my friend added in, and I have never experienced this one before, and I hope I never have to. But she said that she has had people say that I would love for our kids to get together, but I just don't want my kid to act like your kid. And I think that that is absolutely horrible. I think it's disgusting, and I feel horrible for her that that's ever happened to her. And she said that this is why we never hang out with anyone. She said that they have no friends, and I think that that's so sad. She has the same problem as us, where her son runs away in public, and it's really hard. And I totally get it, and I don't understand though why you wouldn't want your kid around. I mean, I just don't get that. But don't do this to people. We need friends. Like, we don't need to be more isolated. Like, special needs families don't need more isolation. Like, we already feel isolated because no one understands our experiences. Like, whenever we talk about things, no one really gets it except for like other people that are going through the same thing. And so if you tell them, oh, sorry, I can't hang out with you because I don't want my kid to act naughty, or I don't want my kid to act up like your kid acts, I cannot fathom that. Like, that is insane. Wow. So do not do that to people. That is crazy to me. And my friend Catherine, who I was just talking about, whose son has autism, he's 5 years old. She has 2 other kids. She's awesome. I met her through my church small group. She actually has a podcast, and she talks about autism. She just started it. It's a new podcast, but I will link it in the description below if you want to give it a listen. All right, I have one more, and then I'm gonna get into the ways to support an autism parent. The last thing to avoid is, don't say, I'm so sorry. Like, I am just so sorry. It feels like you're saying, like, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for you. Like, don't make it feel like you feel bad for them. Like, they're just like this sad person now. We go through hard times. It's not always easy. It is tough to be an autism parent. I'm not denying that. I mean, like, that's like what this whole video is about, is how to support an autism parent. But that doesn't mean that we don't love our life still. Like, I love Lincoln. I wouldn't change him for the world. If he didn't have autism, he wouldn't be Lincoln. His quirks and his love for music, like, I don't think he would be the same kid if he wouldn't be Lincoln if he didn't have autism. And so I wouldn't change him, and I love him to death, and I don't need people saying I'm so sorry, because it makes it feel like I shouldn't be happy or something. It makes it feel like I shouldn't be enjoying my life right now. It makes it feel like something's wrong. And like, we are loving life right now. Like, we just bought an RV, and we are gonna go do some fun family adventures, and I can't wait. And autism is not slowing us down at all. We are still going out to restaurants, and we are still taking him everywhere. We're not scared to take him out. Just because he struggles sometimes when we're out in public, that doesn't mean that we're avoiding going out in public. Like, I talk about those struggles, but we're still going, and we're still trying, and we're enjoying life. Tell me that you're sorry for me. That's the last one. Now I'm gonna get into, where's my phone? Now I'm gonna get into how to support an autism parent. One more thing before I get into that though, we did get a lot of comments before we had him in the process of like getting diagnosed and everything about his speech. Very rude comments from a lot of different people. Who is that babbling in the background? Is that Lincoln? Oh, shouldn't he be talking? Isn't he 2? Why isn't he talking yet? I just don't understand. So many people, just such rude comments. I mean, it baffles me, like, how rude people can be. I was constantly worried about it already, and then having a bunch of different people commenting on it like that, it wasn't nice. And then also, then I'm constantly feeling like I need to like prove it to people that he's speaking more. So like we were having him like repeat words every time we were with people. We'd be like, oh, look at his new words. Like if he could say like 3 new ones, we'd be like, look, he can say this, Lincoln say this. And I felt like he was like our show pony or something, trying to get him to say stuff so we could prove to people that he could talk. And it just like felt horrible. So that's another thing. Don't comment on kids' speech like that. Like it's just not a nice thing to do. All right, so on to my list of how you can actually support parents of children with autism better, because yes, we do go through some hard days and we do need support. And I know I've been talking negatively through this video because obviously I have mentioned all the negative comments first, and I just want to say I do have a lot of support in my life. I do have amazing people in my life who actually do these things that are on this list without me even asking. And so I am so thankful for those people, and I don't know what I would do without them. So get you some of those people. If you're watching this video and you are an autism parent, get you some people in your life like that, and I hope you have some already. So the first one is just ask how the parent is doing. Just ask them how they're doing. I'm sure that that person wants to talk about their day and talk about themselves, because a lot of times we're just talking about our kids all the time, and I'm sure that they want to talk about themselves for a minute or two and talk about how they are actually doing. Ask how the child is doing. Ask how the other kids are doing. Ask how their therapy is going. Ask how it's been when, you know, you're out in public. Ask if there's anything I can do to help you out. Say to them, I know I can never fully understand what you're going through, but I'm always here if you want to talk. So this one kind of goes with the one where it was like, oh, my sister's neighbor's brother's kid or whatever it was has autism, and I totally understand what you're going through. So this one is like the opposite of that one, where it's like, I know I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm always here to listen. I love this because it's like, you know, I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to be your support, and you know, I'm always here to talk, but you know, I'm not going to try to relate with you. I'm not going to try to say I totally get it, I totally understand, because that's just kind of hurtful when you try to say like that you understand, because nobody really gets it unless they've been through it. You can say, if you ever need some time to yourself, I'd be happy to help out. So definitely for me, now that I have 2 kids, now that I am just realizing that, you know, self-care, alone time is very important to me, I definitely appreciate an offer to have somebody watch the kids for me. I mean, I get my time with Adam, like Adam watches the kids and I go out alone, but if somebody else offers, I'm usually gonna take them up on it now. I used to turn people down back in the day when I used to think that I didn't need alone time. I was like, oh no, I'm fine. And like, I never really wanted to leave the kids. And I talk about that in my self-care video, and I can link that like up in the corner. But it was definitely a postpartum anxiety issue that I was going through, and I am totally fine leaving the kids now. I definitely prioritize my self-care now, and I realized that I need my alone time to refresh and come back ready to mom again. We need breaks as moms. So if you're in somebody's life who is an autism parent, offer to give them a break. And it can be hard to trust somebody. So like, if I didn't have like people in my life that I trusted to watch Lincoln, I don't know how I'd feel about it. Like, even taking him to Sunday school, I was terrified to take him to Sunday school because I wasn't sure how he was gonna do. I was like afraid he was gonna run away. But it is definitely hard when you think about those things, because you just don't know what could happen, and it's hard to find people that you trust to watch your kids, especially if they have special needs. Say, can I offer to babysit so you and your spouse can go out to dinner? So this is a really great one. Adam and I have been trying to work on going on date nights more. We've been trying to go once a month. But yeah, a lot of special needs parents, they don't get time together because they're always engulfed in their kids and just life in general, and they don't get as much time together as they used to. And so if you can give them that time together, you're helping 1,000,000%. And again, it's hard to find people that you trust to watch your kids, especially if they're special needs, but this is gonna help so much for them. I know it will, because it's really hard on marriage. The next one is ask how you can pray for them. So I mentioned in one of my last videos how it was a Q&A video. Somebody had asked, how can we pray for you? And I loved that question so much. I think just knowing that somebody's praying for you is super helpful, and I think being able to tell someone like exactly how they can pray for you is really helpful. So definitely ask them, how can I be praying for you? And then actually do it too. Remember to pray for them. So you can offer a help day or a hangout day. So I think that this is kind of cool. Me and my friend chatted about this before I made the video, and she was saying having a hangout day would be amazing, and just having somebody come and hang out with them. I would love that too. Like, just, you know, either offering like a help day, come over and help with groceries, help with grocery shopping, or come over and watch the kids while I go get some stuff done, or help with the other kids and I'll do something with Lincoln. Or can we come over and all of our kids will play and we'll all just hang out, or we'll go to the park together. Offer a help or a hang day. And I feel like that one is a really fun one that my friend added. So I think that's all of them on my list. I think I've been filming for a really long time, so I should probably wrap this video up. I don't know who's watching this video. I don't know if you're an autism parent or if you're just a friend of mine. If you are a friend of an autism parent, I don't know who you are watching this, but I hope that you got something out of this. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and you can comment down below if you have anything to add to this. If you have any rude comments that people have ever said to you, or if you have any ideas for supporting autism parents, I would love to hear that below as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.